For a long time, I thought customers were making the decision to stop and look at my space based on what I was selling. And while that certainly has a lot to do with it, what I eventually realized was that many of them were making that decision before they ever looked closely at any single item that I had. My name is Renee, and I have been involved in the vendor community for 10 plus years, and I've been involved in the resale community for going on 20 years. I currently run a vendor booth called the Back Swamp Boutique at Antique to Chic Vendor Market in Jacksonville, North Carolina. What I want to talk about today is something that we've all asked ourselves. Is why do customers stop at some booths and not others? Now, before we get into this, let me just say something that might make some newer booth owners feel a little bit better. If customers aren't stopping at your booth, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got bad inventory, that you should just yank it out and start over or quit. I've seen beautiful booths that struggle to get attention, and I've seen booths that carry ordinary type items that seem to attract people all day long. So, what's the difference? In my experience, customers are making decisions much faster than most of us realize. They're walking down an aisle, and without even thinking about it, they're asking themselves questions. Can I easily see what's in this booth? Do I feel welcome to walk in? Do I see something that catches my attention? And maybe most importantly, is this booth worth my time? Now, that last one might sting a little bit, but think about how you shop. Whether you're at an antique mall or a flea market, craft show, or even the grocery store, you're constantly making quick decisions about where you're going to spend your money, but also your time and attention. And your customers are doing exactly the same thing. Now, keeping this in mind, booth owners can create barriers without even realizing it. Sometimes it's a large piece of furniture right at the entrance. Sometimes it's racks or displays that make the booth feel cramped. Sometimes it's so much inventory just packed into your space or a space that shoppers don't know where to look first. When people feel like they have to work to shop, some just simply won't do it. And this is called visual overwhelm. And this is especially common with booth owners because when you're paying rent, you want every inch of space working for you. And I completely understand that. But when every shelf is full and every wall is covered and every surface has something on it, the customer's eye doesn't know where to land. It's like trying to have 10 conversations all at one time. Instead of noticing your best items, they notice everything and nothing all at the same time, kind of like not seeing the forest for the trees. Now, this doesn't mean that your booth needs to be empty or you need to become a minimalist. It just means shoppers need a clear invitation to come inside and browse. Now, there's something else to consider. Sometimes the problem may not be clutter, sometimes it can be predictability. Customers have walked past hundreds of booths and they have seen the same trends over and over. They've seen mason jars, signs, baskets, geese, hens, furniture, but the booths that often get the most attention are the ones that can create a little curiosity. Now, I'm not saying don't have your trendy items. You know, as booth owners, we love our trendy stuff, but maybe have them displayed in an unusual way or having like an unexpected item along with them. Maybe it's a color combination that stands out from the rest, or a collection of items displayed in a way shoppers haven't seen before. I remember how we hung jewelry on an old ironing board in a consignment shop that I had a few years ago. And we got a ton of comments about how clever that was, just something that simple. It sparked a lot of conversation. You just need something that makes people pause, because that pause is overrated. Once a customer slows down, you've won the first battle. They don't have to buy anything yet. You just need them to stop and look. And this is where a lot of booth owners get stuck. We focus so much on making the sale that we forget there are smaller steps that happen first. A customer notices your booth, then they stop, then they enter, then they browse, then they pick something up, and then they consider buying it. A sale is actually the last step in a much longer process. If people aren't stopping, it's not a pricing problem. They haven't even seen your prices yet. It may not be an inventory problem. It may simply be that your booth isn't giving them a reason to pause. The good news is that this is something that you can improve without spending a lot of money, just by seeing your booth through your customer's eyes. Try this exercise. The next time you're at your booth, don't look at it like the owner. Walk down the aisle like a customer, stand about 20 feet away, and ask yourself, what catches my eye first? Is there an obvious entrance and a clear path into the booth? Do I immediately understand what kind of booth this is? And most importantly, would I stop if I didn't own it? And those simple questions can reveal a lot, because customers aren't seeing the work that went into setting up your booth. They're not seeing the hours you spent sourcing. They're not seeing how you carefully curated and priced everything. They're only seeing what is right in front of them in that moment. And often, whether they stop or keep walking is decided in just a few seconds. That's why learning to see your booth through your customer's eyes can completely change the way you merchandise, because customers can't buy what they never pause to stop and notice. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would really appreciate anyone who would like to subscribe to my channel to see more of this Booth Talk series as we explore how to think like a merchandiser and how to make your vendor booth inviting and hard to resist, and encourage shoppers to stay longer and increase your sales. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.